Welcome to the 1% Traveler in Jerusalem. Now, we came over here from Jordan. It was really quite an adventure just getting across the border. It took 3.5 hours, but we made it. And we're gonna try to see some things in Jerusalem that we haven't seen before. This is my third time here, and I think there's still a few secrets the city has that I haven't seen yet. So let's get going. The best place to start a visit to Jerusalem is the Western Wall. You don't have to be Jewish to go there. They have free yarmulkes you can wear, and you can add your prayer to the wall along with all the other believers reaching out to God. The Western Wall is not the old wall of the temple. It's the retaining wall of the plateau on which the temple sat. Now, the temple itself, it was destroyed in total in AD 70 by the Romans, and we don't know even exactly where on the plateau it actually sat. Shopping in Jerusalem really is a 360 sensual experience. There's smells, there's sounds, there's so much action going on. And it's not just tourist bric-a-brac that's being sold, there's all kinds of practical day-to-day stuff. It's very easy to get turned around in the little streets, but so what? It just gives more time to enjoy the city and to see things that you wouldn't see or you didn't plan to see. And I think that's what makes this city so amazing. It's just an adventure, every little corner, every street, every turn. So it's just a great place to come out, explore, and enjoy just a little bit. So it's Friday night in Jerusalem, and there is very few places on earth that are more intense than Jerusalem on a Friday night. We've just been down to the Western Wall and seen the incredible religious enthusiasm, ecstatic enthusiasm of Jewish believers. Now we're at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and of course the level of intensity is similarly intense here. Being Friday, earlier on, it was a big day for the Muslim believers. It's like the essence of every world religion, or the Abrahamic religions anyway, have all come together right here in Jerusalem this Friday. And it's very interesting. I think it's very engaging, it's very inspiring, and I'm just glad everyone's getting on, at least tonight. This morning I got up at 5 a.m. so I could walk through the old city before dawn and up the Mount of Olives so I could see this view. And what's been incredible to me is how few people are out. It's incredible. This has got to be one of the most beautiful, breathtaking, inspiring views you can see anywhere on earth. And yet, well, if you take advantage of it, you're going to be a little bit lonely, and that's good. Being a 1% traveler isn't just about where you go. Sometimes it's about when you go. Sometimes it's about going to the places that everyone else is going to, but choosing exactly the right time to do it. And I am so glad that I got up at 5 a.m. I wouldn't have missed this for the world. I hope that you'll promise me this. If you do get to Jerusalem, get up before dawn, make the effort, don't take a taxi or a bus, walk through the old city, walk up the hill, feel this place like it was meant to be felt on a very human scale. You're going to see a lot of amazing things on the way and just have that incredible experience of coming on breathtaking beauty in a very natural, organic way. So behind me is part of the Garden of Gethsemane. This is where Jesus came to pray. It's where he actually sweat blood. He was under so much distress. He said he grieved even unto death. But it's also where Judas came and betrayed him. So a lot of biblical history, a lot of the story of Jesus takes place in this beautiful garden. It's also a place where he came for respite and to rejuvenate during his life. As I mentioned, this is my third time to Jerusalem, but it's the first time that I can actually go up on the Temple Mount. It turns out this is a very sensitive place, and every so often it's shut down because of one dispute or another. Thankfully, today I can get up there, so let's get up. So here I am at the Dome of the Rock. It's my first time up on the actual Temple Mount. It's really a remarkable place to have a look around, and there's a really special feeling up here. I'm really glad I made it this trip. I don't know about you, but for me, after about 2 or 3 hours of walking around the city, exploring, I love to just sit down and chill, particularly on very comfortable chairs. So one recommendation for you next time you come to Jerusalem is this. Right by King David's Tower is a Christian visitor center. Anyone can come in, no one will hassle you, at least they haven't hassled me. Just come, really very comfortable couches, nice views, beautiful music, and also an exhibit, at least as I'm here today, about the Franciscan monks who tend to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Very interesting, very different expression of faith than my own, but I find it really just fascinating to delve in while I'm here to understand a little bit more of how people express their faith and the lives they live here in Jerusalem, and have really been living for many centuries, in some case millennium. It's an amazing place, and this is just one little corner of it that I think is worth visiting and relaxing in. Everywhere you go in Jerusalem, you see cats. Now, I love animals, and I find these cats just adorable. Jerusalem is worth the trip just for the food. Particularly the fresh fruit and veggies are just amazing, and the spices are unbelievable. Here we are in Jerusalem, and I'm with my new best friends. I'm feeling very secure. I don't know how they're feeling, but how old are you guys? 19? 20? And how long are you in the military? Yeah. And is it everybody?
Yes.
But not the Orthodox.
Some go, some don't.
Some do. It's up to them. Okay, good. Well, I hope it goes well for you guys. I hope you're safe. And thank you for chatting, and may you have a peaceful time in the military. Which might be an oxymoron, but I think that's what you hope for, right? Okay, thank you. So there are a couple things I want to tell you about. The first is, well, I'll give you my 2 cents on getting guides. Everybody wants to be your guide in Jerusalem, and of course not just here, wherever you travel. I am not a huge fan of getting guides, and I'll tell you why. A lot of guides seem to spend most of their time trying to figure out how to get more money out of you than you've agreed to pay, particularly take you to their friends' shops, and I often find that they want to take me to places I don't want to go, and their information is often very suspect. I prefer to read up about a place and then just go and enjoy it, meet people when I'm there, ask questions of people in the neighborhood, in the city, wherever you are, and really just enjoy it. Before I came to Jerusalem, I read the Biography of Jerusalem. It's a 700 or so page history that gives the context for everything you're going to see, hear, and feel while you're here. Really worth the time. Which comes to my second thing I want to talk about, and that is travel alone or travel in a group. I never take organized trips as far as travel guides and buses and all that kind of stuff. I hate that kind of thing, and I'll tell you for a lot of reasons. One is that it encapsulates you into a group, and in that group you don't get out and meet people, and you just don't see what's really going on in the city or in the country or in the place where you are. Right now, I should be traveling with one person, And he has gone off on one place, I've gone another direction. I've met so many people today and just having a great time learning a little bit more about the city, because I'm forced to talk to people who aren't part of my culture, who aren't part of my group, who aren't people who just know what I know or agree with me. And that is part of the growth that comes when you travel. So here's a tip that's going to make your trip a lot more interesting. It's only about an hour from downtown Amman, Jordan, the capital of Jordan, to the Jordan River. At the Jordan River, you cross over into Israeli-controlled territory, and it's only about another hour to downtown Jerusalem. It really is a very short, manageable trip, and what a great trip it is, because you get to see how the area geographically and culturally and historically is really just one area all meshed together. Highly recommended, and you probably want to watch the other 1% travel videos about Jordan and, of course, the West Bank, Bethlehem, and Jericho. I hope that you go to Jerusalem. I hope that you enjoy these videos, and I hope that you make that trip, because it's going to make your whole experience a lot more exciting and interesting. This morning when I was up on the Mount of Olives looking over the beautiful city of Jerusalem, I met a English doctor. He's an oncologist, treats cancer, and we had a great talk about faith. Now, Jerusalem is a city that is just absolutely immersed in spirituality, whether it's Islam or Christianity or Judaism. Everywhere you look, somebody's having a religious experience. And I am a Christian, and I've come here, and of course it has meaning for me, and I can appreciate also the religious experiences of those I see among Jewish believers and among Muslim believers as well. It's a beautiful thing to see people experiencing a connection to God. But one thing this guy said that was very interesting to me was, he said he's an agnostic, doesn't have a particular religious belief, has flirted with atheism, but coming to Jerusalem has sort of sparked something. He said, I feel something here. I see it. I can taste it. I can understand it. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I can't just dismiss it. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. There's something deep, there's something serious, there's something real here. And despite all the commercialization, all the people trying to make a buck off it, all the sort of claims and counterclaims of religious sites, and you're going to get all of that stuff and more, there's still something, when you strip all of that away, there's still something kind of special here. There's something that says, maybe there's a God up there who talks to us down here. And that is what people come to Jerusalem to feel. I hope that if you come, you can experience a little taste of that, because it's a beautiful thing when you feel it. Hello! Now I'm gonna have to talk to people, not a video. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe below, because we have tons of great travel videos coming your way.